Good morning, scholars. Today is Monday, May 4th, 2020. This week in math, we're going to be switching up our problems of the day to be thinking about addition keywords, and we'll be focusing on telling time. Now, scholars, last week we focused on subtraction keywords, and this week we're going to focus on addition keywords. There's different words that we can look for when we're reading word problems that help give us a clue if we're going to be working with addition. Some of those words include total, join, plus, sum, both, together, combined, add, how many in all, increase, and all together. Now, scholars, we learned last week that some words can be tricky. They can be used for both addition or subtraction. So the most important thing that we can do when we're looking at our word problems is that we can take time to think about them and get a picture in our head of what's happening in the problem. But keep those in mind because they can help us. All right, guys. Now, as we move into a new unit, we're going to be thinking about time. Now, a lot of times we use digital clocks, but this is called an analog clock. In analog clocks, we have an hour hand, which is the short hand that doesn't point all the way to the number. Do you see how this short hand only goes part way, but we still see the rest of the number? So it doesn't matter where on the clock it goes. So we can go 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it'll keep on going around, but it won't cover our numbers because the hour hand is the short hand. Now, scholars, today in our math work, we're going to be focusing on this minute hand because the minute hand is the long hand. It's going to go all the way to the end of our clock. But one thing that we want to remember whenever we're thinking about minutes is that each of these large numbers here, so the 12, 1, 2, and 3, all the way around, they are each 5 minutes. So each of these numbers represent 1 hour, but when we're using the minute hand, they're 5 minutes. So count with me by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, but we count by fives when we're thinking about minutes. So let's count again one more time. 5, 10, 15. Let's pause there. So when we get to the 3, that's been 15 minutes. Let's keep on counting now. 20, 25, 30. When we get to the 6, that's been 30 minutes. 35, 40, 45. Now we're at the 9, and that's 45 minutes. 50, 55, 60. So when we get back to the 12, we've made it through a whole hour. And we think about time, we don't write 60 minutes on the clock. We put a 0, 0. You're going to see today your clock where you're going to fill out the fives on each of the numbers. Here's what it's going to look like for you. Oh, sorry, it's not showing you yet. Let me show you what it's going to look like for you. Here it is. Okay, so scholars, you can see you're going to have boxes at each of the numbers. Remember when we start at the number 1, that's 5 minutes. You can use your text tool and put 5 there. So we'll move it over and just put it in there. So we'll say 5 and continue on 10, and we're counting by 5. So each one of our numbers on our clock is 5 minutes, and we'll keep on going. Remember 5, 10, 15, and you'll move it in. If you'd rather not use your text tool and you'd rather just write them in, you're welcome to do that. So you can use your marker. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. So you're going to go all the way around the clock, and that's going to be your job today. All right, scholars, have a great day of learning.